life, mental illnesses, testicles, apples, love, politics, global hunger, video games, premature ejaculation. Words of wisdom.
Hello friends, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Words of Wisdom here on IPGAFI. Hello! So first off, before I continue and start with the questions, I just want to say two things. One, thank you so much to everyone who's following me on the needs right now. You guys are awesome. Like, I don't think any of the followships, if you want to call that, on Twitter, Facebook, even on YouTube in a way, none of my followers are as engaging and as active as you guys are. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, and keep on doing what you're doing. Keep leaving comments and keep following and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are great. Thank you. Second of all, to a question from last week. Jason, he asked if why chips were better from someone else's plate, and I filmed using Chris, and this didn't go down well with him. It didn't go down well with everyone else either. Actually, it didn't go down well with someone else who said, like, why the hell are you using Chris because he said chips? That's not cool. You're not allowed to do that. So sorry. I redid the question using chips as you wished. And so here it is. The question was, why do chips taste better from someone else's plate? And here is the answer, using chips as requested. Here you go. Right, hello Jason. We're back here at the dinner table with chips, not crisps. Sorry about that. But I'm also having my dinner at the same time. We thought we'd just have chips for dinner. So yeah, why do chips taste better from someone else's plate? So I'll go with the same theory as before, as last week. It's really about ownership. It's about possessiveness, and the grass is always greener. It's that kind of thing. It's about the fact that we take what we have for granted. So again, I'm just going to have a chip here, the nice oven-cooked chip from my plate, which is lovely. It's very tasty, very good. I do enjoy that quite a lot. Now I'm going to take one from this plate here and just enjoy those. So, that whole mouthful tastes better. All of it just tastes so much better because it's not mine, and I realise that I'm getting something that technically doesn't belong to me. It's like forbidden fruit. And this is mine. I can have this whenever I want. I could put it to one side if I wanted to, but no, I want those because someone else is having it and they seem to be enjoying it. So I'm just going to continue doing that. I'm even going to take some mayonnaise as well. But that is the theory. So next time you're in a restaurant, maybe with your partner or with a friend or something, what I advise you do, because I'm guessing this is why you've asked, what I suggest you do is pretend to order extra chips. Order extra chips, but pretend they're for you, right? And then sit there and watch while they eat it and get fat. Oh yes, tubby tubs. But that's the theory with chips, as you asked. I hope that helps, and I hope that answers your question properly. I do apologise. But by all means, keep asking questions. Don't ever stop asking questions, because I'll always have an answer for you, alright? You take care, thank you very much. Alright, I hope that answers the question. I hope that's better and more accurate for you. Sorry about that, Jason. Sorry about my lack of accuracy in the use of the tools and so on and so forth. But as forever, we must press on, because we have questions to answer for week 3 of Words of Wisdom. Words of Wisdom! Here we go. Question number 1 is from Flugible on Reddit. Thank you for using Reddit, Flugible. Love you. It says, do you like being so alone? And alone is in capital letters. Thanks. Thank you for that. I mean, no, I don't. I don't like being so alone. And I think he's poking fun at the fact that no one uses this website. No one uses Reddit at all. That's the only comment up there. It's the only question, only anything on my IPGAFI subreddit. So thanks for that. Thanks for making me feel even worse about that. But no, I don't enjoy it. Of course I don't. Who does? Who does like feeling alone? Really? Lonely people do. I don't think they enjoy that either. But thanks for the question nonetheless. On to the next question, which is on the needs. We have Matthew J. Matt J83 on the needs. Hello, Matthew. He asks, what's your favourite part about making YouTube videos? There's a number of favourite parts, to be honest. I mean, there's the filming itself, where stuff happens and I get really excited. I'm like, that's going to come out really well in the video, and I really get really excited about that. There's editing, where I get to watch myself back, and the gameplay as well. And editing is actually a lot of fun. I get kind of addicted to editing because it's kind of where I can make jokes better. I make them funnier and things like that. So I love the editing part of things, and certainly and I'll be honest, this does actually happen, I make myself laugh. I genuinely actually do make myself laugh sometimes. I know that sounds sad to you all, but shit, I'm having a good time, so whatever. Not really bothered. But yeah, I can actually make myself laugh, and I am not ashamed of that. So editing is a great part of it. But the part that really gets me going is actually when I get feedback, when people are commenting. That's what I love Neostrike for, man. The guy comments on a lot of my videos, and I love it. I love the fact that he's actually watching it, he's getting involved in it, and he's kind of almost giving me feedback on everything. It's great. I love that. That's how I kind of see it, feedback. Even if someone commented saying this was a shit video and actually told me why, I'd love it, because I'd be like, well, good. There's something for me to work on, something for me to improve on, and I'll keep doing that. So the kind of audience engagement is fantastic as well, because that's what it's about, really. It's a community-based thing. I want people to get involved, so that's really nice too. But I suppose, I think that answers that. I'm sorry to kind of cop out and say there's 3 favourite parts, but there are indeed 3 favourite stages of making the YouTube videos. It's just phenomenal. And I think that's what those 3 things are what draws me on. So it's actually like a 3-pronged reason as to why I love it so much. So yes, thank you very much, Matt-J83, for the question. Much love to you, sir. And on to the next one, which is also on the needs, from bquin13. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. And he says, what are you most excited for in this week's episode? I'm guessing you're talking about the Words of Wisdom episode, because that's what he's responding to. What am I most excited about? Well, it's kind of weird to answer that question, just because obviously the past and present and so on. I would say, what am I most excited about? I'm just kind of getting on with the questions, really. I'm getting excited about answering the questions in such a way that hopefully people want to continue asking me questions. Is that fair? Is that an alright answer? I don't know. I don't know if that's alright. I don't know if you'd be happy with that. Just seeing what else anyone could throw at me, I suppose, and looking forward to get the answers out. I'm looking forward to inspiring someone, maybe, or getting an answer that someone goes, I never thought about it like that. Maybe. But I'm also, just also excited about getting these questions answered, I guess. That's fair. We'll go with that. Thank you very much, bquin13, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Thank you. On to the next question with Holy Needs 10, also on the needs. Hello you. What was your favourite special power to use in the Stick of Truth? Now, I've not finished that game yet. And I genuinely haven't. I haven't played it through by myself or anything. Like, as I'm playing it on the channel, that is how I'm playing it. But honestly, I have to say, I might actually, I'll show you all in the video as well. My favourite part.
Let's see how you like dealing with me.
This is quite amazing. All right, here we go. What are we doing? Not that one. Not that one.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
Oh my god. Oh, that was like the single coolest thing ever. Favorite special power has to be Professor Chaos. When that first happened for me, that was a moment that just goes down in history. I just adored it because it was so unexpected and so glorious in the way that it all worked. It just made me so happy. It really did make me so happy. So it would have to be that special power, and I'd use it over and over again. I've seen some of the other ones, and they are all very cool. Don't get me wrong; they're very, very cool. I love the way they work. I love Cartman's swear attack. I love Rochambeau to death. I love that move. As you could tell, for those of you who watch the series, I love Rochambeau. But it's all about Butters, man. That Professor Chaos is just spectacular. So yeah, it's got to be that one, Professor Chaos. That's got to be my favourite move, without a shadow of a doubt. Thank you very much, Holy Needs 10. Thanks for the question. We'll hopefully see you next week. Thank you. So we are leaving the Needs and we're going on to Facebook now, where we have got George B, who rather comically asked me, has anyone really been far even as decided to use, even go, want to do, look more like? That's great. That's super. I see. Now I wanna try and be smart and answer this question in such a way that it's kind of answered in a similar fashion. So I kind of go, but then then we did the maybe, because that would be it if you did. And I'd want that to be the answer. But I can't. So what I'll do, make me with some of my own words, is actually try and answer the question. So, has anyone really been far even, has decided to use even? Oh wait, hang on, decided to use, even go one to look more like. I swear there's an actual question, there's a coherent question in there somewhere, and I'm really determined to get it. So what I'll do is I'm going to give that some time to think about and see how I get on. So bear with me a second. I can't answer it. I can't answer it. I really am. That's so annoying. I want to answer it. I want to answer the question. I want to get on it. I want to answer it as if it was an actual coherent question that someone's asked me, but I can't. I can't do it, which is really upsetting me. So damn you, George Bay, damn you. But thanks for the question nonetheless. Thank you very much. On to the next question from Jonathan H, a return questioner. Hello, Tar. Hello. So he says, he asks, 6:43 a.m. train from Twyford, standing room only, forced to hear bassline from crappy music from fellow traveller too close to me. Why? Okay, I mean, there's two ways I can answer that, I suppose, because it's like, why am I on a train at 6:43 a.m.? I mean, unless you're going somewhere really cool and awesome, then that's your answer. But if you're not going somewhere cool and awesome, then I can't answer that for you. I mean, you've got to ask that yourself. Why are you up at 6:43 in the morning on a train when you're not even going somewhere awesome? So that's the first question. Well, I suppose it's the first answer in a way. What are you doing there? The answer is a question. All right, I'm cheating. But then, you're forced to hear this person's music next to you. I don't know. I listen to my music quite loud as well, and I'll be honest, there was actually a point where I remember being on a train and a lady had actually asked me to turn my music down on my headphones, and I was happy to oblige. I was, because she was actually polite enough to be like, look, do you mind turning it down? I did. What annoyed me was the fact that she then decided to have a really loud conversation, and I was like, listen, woman, I have actually turned my music down, not so I could listen to you talk, so could you maybe, talk quieter? Now, I didn't have the gall to actually ask her, because I thought it would seem catty, it would seem a bit pathetic and sad, but it did annoy me. But I'm sure next time if that were to happen, if you just said, sorry to be rude, do you mind turning music down? Probably would. So, I mean, I'd say it's an unfortunate scenario. Why? I don't know why. And the fact that you say you've been forced to hear, I don't think anyone's got a gun to your head, have they? Playing the music deliberately in their ear, going, listen to me, listen to my music, listen to the music in my ear. So, I mean, you've, perhaps a little dramatic there. Maybe. But who knows? But no, just ask him. That should be fine. I hope that's answered your question. Thank you very much for the question, though, Jonathan H. And perhaps I'll see you again next week. Thank you very much. So, on to the next question, which has come in from Richard C., who asks, if you could have any game from your childhood remade, what would that game be? How would you like to see it improve for today's hardware? Okay, well, I mean, that's two questions in one go right there. I mean, is that even allowed? I haven't set the rules for that, but I'm going to say that's allowed. So, remade for today, and how would I like it done? First off, I'm going to say I'm actually closely following the Carmageddon reincarnation game that's been remade, and that's kind of got me excited. because I absolutely adore Carmageddon. It's kind of a nostalgic thing, but it genuinely is a really, that brings back so many good memories for me in my gaming life. Really a lot of good memories, and I absolutely adore that game. So I'm looking forward to playing that at some point. Really looking forward to playing that. But apart from that, I'll be honest, it's actually Streets of Rage 2, and I know that's kind of dull, and perhaps some of you will say, well, that game's already been out, blah, 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 blah. But if they actually remade Streets of Rage 2 for today's games, all I'd ask is that they kind of change the graphics up and just maybe make the story a little better or something, and not add any super special effects for the game, and, you know, they turn into dragons or something like that. Nothing stupid. I'd actually want something quite realistic. A rather realistic beat 'em up. This has really good graphics, really simple gameplay, able to pick up and play type gameplay. Maybe, you know, mild humor in the dialogue, something like that. I mean, I know I don't ask for much, but then you can't really add a lot onto a game like Streets of Rage 2 because it was all about the gameplay and what it was. But I'll be honest, that I would still play that game today, and I think I actually did in the last 7 months since I started the channel. One of my videos is me playing that game. It's 40 minutes long, and, you know, you watch it if you want, but that's before I really started putting any effort into my videos. I'm not gonna lie, that video sucked ass. But but I still play it. I'd still play it today. I mean, I'm thinking about it now. I kind of want to play it again now. I don't know why. I just adore that game, and I'd love to see them do it in a new fashion, in a modern way. No matter how simplistic it is. I think that's why actually I like Batman, because Batman has this essence, the battle system, where, okay, it is quite simple, but that's what I love about it. It makes you feel like you are Batman in the fact that you could take down 10 guys in one go without getting hit once, and you're a total badass. I just think that's awesome, and I love that about the game. So, yeah, I hope that's not too much of a boring answer, but that's genuinely how I feel. I'd want it to be something like that. So, yeah, and I mean, I'm not a game designer, so I wouldn't really know how to maximize the use of a PS4 or Xbox One, or any PC for that matter. I wouldn't know. But all I know is I know that game I want could be made quite easily. I know that could be made, no problem. So someone get on that. Anyone watching, just get on it. That'd be great. That would be super duper. All right, so thank you very much for receiving that question. Thank you. Next question is from James B, who's come in heavily with a lot of questions all at once. I like this deadline asking, where I'm like, everyone, just ask me a question quickly, last chance, and everyone's like, questions. So the first question from James B is, time or money? That's it. That's simple but effective. Now, give us a tiny little bit of thought. I mean, I think about stuff like this quite often, I'll be honest. Not to sound pretentious and, you know, like a twat, but I do generally spend a lot of time thinking about money, only because I'm aware that money in this day and age, unfortunately, equals freedom. That is true to an extent, and a lot of people might not think that, but I think in the Western world particularly, where we're so obsessed about even experiences, never mind possessions, but experiences and memories and stuff, some of these things cost money, and I think if you have a lot of it, you have the freedom to decide and choose what it is, you know, you want to do with yourself, with your money, with your life. I guess you have that freedom because you don't have to work for it. You have the time to spend to do it when you've got lots of money. But I am a waiter. I've been a waiter for a long time, so I've just kind of adapted to not having thousands of pounds at my disposal at any one time, and I've just kind of got used to that. And so I've never actually pictured a life where I have a lot of money. And so I've kind of never pined to have a lot of money. Now, what I'm alluding to here is the fact that I now live a life that's not restricted by any stretch by the amount of money I earn, but I've made my life of what I can afford. So, for example, I make these videos, and I've spent my money, the spare money I have on these videos, on making this channel, on recording equipment and stuff like that. My other love is snowboarding, as some of you may know already. I absolutely love snowboarding so much. So I put my money into snowboarding holidays, snowboards, bindings, boots, snowboard stickers, helmets, goggles, gloves, just stuff like that, jackets, new things. That's where I put my money. Now, that doesn't leave me poor, and I don't need thousands of pounds for that, to be honest, but I'm really content with that. So actually, while money might seem like an obvious choice, time would be better for me, because then I can spend more time working on my videos. If I had more time on my hands, I would spend more time on my videos. I'd spend more time wanting to learn to snowboard. I'd spend more time understanding, I haven't quite got the grips of snowboard shapes and sizes and widths and styles and so on. So I'd spend my time understanding all of that so I could get the perfect snowboard for a guy of my size and stature. I'd spend more time learning to snowboard so I'd get better at it. So, I'd have more freedom on the slopes of what I could do and what I could ride on and stuff like that. I think time is the one for me. That's my thing. So it'd be time, definitely. Because, to be honest, if I had more money, I'd just do more of the same. I just want more time to spend it on doing these things anyway. So it wouldn't make a difference, I don't think. Excuse me. So yeah, it would be time. Thank you very much, James. So, thank you for the question. Yes. On to your next question, which is, would you break the law to save a loved one? Would you break the law to save a loved one? No, this is difficult because it's scaled. Like, I'm thinking to myself, who is the loved one, for one? Because I'm thinking a loved one could be family, obviously. It could be a friend, it could be a partner or something like that. And there's different degrees of breaking the law. I mean, there's one which is like jaywalking in certain areas of the world. In which case, yeah, absolutely, of course I do that. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. But if you're talking about, Hitler-style mass genocide, I'm not sure if... I think it'd be difficult. It would be difficult. Initially, I'd want to say, yes, of course I would, absolutely. But there's variables in there. There are certain scenarios where I wouldn't. And I think it's a little vague of a question. I'm not able to answer that fully. So if we go with the extremes, if I had to... Would I kill 6 million people to save my family? Oh, man. I don't like this question. I don't feel comfortable with this question because... Do you know what? I'm actually going to say, no, I wouldn't. Because I don't believe that my family, on any level, would want me to kill 6 million people so they lived. Because ultimately, while I love them dearly, and there's no question that I love them dearly, I know that they wouldn't want me to do that so that they lived. I certainly wouldn't want my family members to kill 6 million people so that I lived. I'd rather be like, no, just kill me, that's fine. Leave me to die, that's absolutely fine. Because that's not something I'd want them to have to live with at all. And also it means that kind of the 6 million people that died, their blood would be on their hands as well because they died to save these other people. So no, actually I wouldn't. And I don't think that my family would be disappointed in that decision because I don't think they necessarily... I don't think they want me to. So I'm going to say no, I wouldn't. And that's the answer to that. And finally, from James, last question from James B. Hello, sir. Hello again. We meet again. He asks, what is the difference between living and existing? Okay. I like this question, to be honest, because I'm going to try and make this quick because I think I've gone on for quite a while already. Hang on. Okay, it's not that bad. We're okay. The difference between living and existing. The difference between living and existing is sentience, and I'll say that in as plain a term as I can. It is sentience. I think existing is what bugs do. Existing is what an insect does, or a fly does, or a mosquito. They simply exist. They behave in their constricted format of how they live how they exist, and that's it. They don't do anything beyond that. Human beings have sentience. We have souls, if you want to put it like that make us individual from another human being. We have things that separate us from each other, and those differences are really what make us special. That sentience is what makes us special. But I think what the difference is between living and existing is the fact that living is when people use that sentience, that difference in themselves, to maximize the quality of their life for themselves. I think existing is, and this might seem very cliche, might piss a few of you off, but I don't care. Existing is going to school, going to college, going to university, getting a job, progressing through any old bog standard career, not necessarily one you like, just a career. Getting married by 28, having kids by 30, buying a house, getting a mortgage, then, getting the car on credit or something, having credit cards. and I mean, I'm being really kind of vanilla about this. It's very square, very boring, very dull. It's very samey because it's a safe path to live. But I think that safety makes it the difference between existing and living. I think living, if I knew someone was living, I'd know that they were doing everything that they wanted to do. They were making decisions that were individual to their own. They knew what they didn't like. They knew what they liked, and they were doing those things. You know, they understood themselves fully, and they knew how exactly they wanted to live. So that, I would say, would be the difference between living and existing. Having that sentience, I'd say, and using that sentience. So that would be the difference in my opinion. I hope that makes sense. But you know, you can feel free to ask me to elaborate if you want, but I'm not going to do it right now because I'm pretty sure that's it. It's over. It's over for week 3, and I've had a fantastic time. Thank you guys so much for getting involved in this. I have to say, one thing I will say is when you ask me questions, I might have to try and find a way of putting... I actually do need to find a way of putting them all in one place because I nearly missed some of them out there. I think I've opened up too many channels for you to ask questions. So what I'll say is the deadline is going to be for every question on Thursdays. Thursdays are the cut-off. End of Thursday every week. No more questions. Well, I won't take any, but if you ask me anything after that, it'll carry on into the next week. And if you want to ask me a question, I'm going to say either on the Reddit page, on Facebook, or on my Facebook page, IPGAFI official Facebook page there, or on the needs, and that'll be it. Those will be the 3 places, and I'll post up places where you can post the questions, and that'll be the only place where you can post them, because otherwise I might miss your question. I don't want to miss your questions, guys. I don't want to make you feel like I completely ignored you or anything like that, but there's a chance it will happen if the questions come at a random spot. So sorry if I have missed anyone's questions, but thank you very much for getting involved. I really do appreciate it, and it'll be on to week 4. But that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much to everyone involved. Have a great evening. Have a great week. For those of you who are here for Words of Wisdom, I'll see you next week. For those of you who are here for IPGAFI, I'll see you tomorrow. But do take care. Be wonderful as always. And have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. Bye-bye. Take care.
Words of Wisdom.